This morning, I gotta reason with you about something here. You gotta stop being reasonable. It's stunting you, and you gotta stop hanging out with reasonable people. They're spoiling your dreams. This is, if you ever want to do anything, unreasonable. No great achievement was ever reasonable. Not a one. It was incredibly unreasonable for a newly elected president, the second youngest in American history, who many called not just unqualified and inexperienced, but also naive, to claim that we could ever put a man on the moon before the decade was out. At the time that he said it, September 12, 1962, he and all of NASA had no idea how they would achieve that goal. It was totally unreasonable, and most everybody else thought it was certainly unreasonable as well. A Gallup poll, in fact, indicated that 58% of Americans were opposed to this idea and said that it would embarrass us once again in front of the Russians. When another man shared his dream that one day sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners would one day sit down together at the table of brotherhood, how incredibly unreasonable was it to have that dream? And imagine how unreasonable it would be to dream that a few decades later, one of his own brethren would sit behind a desk in the Oval Office. For a guy who doesn't have a degree in astrophysics to say that he's going to start a space program and one day colonize Mars, or take on Big Auto, or revolutionize the energy market, or build a Hyperloop, the modern day Iron Man has proved to be perpetually unreasonable. How about a 30-year-old with no job, starting from his garage and a loan from his parents, proclaiming that he'd build the largest online retailer in the world? So unreasonable. But he still named it Amazon to suggest its future scale. Just last year, Amazon did $232 billion in revenue, making it the largest internet company in the world. And him, the richest man in the world, completely unreasonable. And a guy so notoriously unreasonable that he was said to have a reality distortion field, which is a term that came from Star Trek, used to describe how the aliens created their own new world through their mental force. That is what the adopted, half Arab, Zen Buddhist, mock turtleneck wearing guy did. He indeed dented the universe with his perpetual unreasonableness. Understand this, every extraordinary achievement started out as an absolutely unreasonable idea. And if any of those unreasonable achievers had listened to the reasonable people around them, then today we would not know their names nor have benefited from their impact. As George Bernard Shaw said, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. About the best a reasonable person can do is take a great idea and make it good. That's why I say, be careful of reasonable people, of committees, of focus groups, of feedback surveys, and best practices. That's the swamp that swallows up greatness. Now, if you want to accomplish something reasonable, well then hell, surround yourself with all the reasonable people you want. But if you want to do something extraordinary, something crazy, something that makes a difference and quite possibly changes the world, well then, you need to surround yourself with unreasonable, if not even crazy people. Because as the Apple commercial informed us, the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. So tell us below, based on your ambition and your goals and the vision that you have for your life, do you think that you are reasonable or you are an unreasonable person? Are the people that you are working with and spending time with outside of work, are they mostly unreasonable or reasonable? Tell us and share what you learned here this morning, and I look forward to reading what you write.